then I also got to know about a very surprising thing. More than this is that the 60% of MBAs remain unemployed every year. So initially, I got to know that I was able to make around 60K per month. They told me that, okay, son, so see, there is this opening that is there in the newspaper, and would you like to go for it? And you should go for it actually if you would like, but there is no compulsion actually.
सो हाय गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द वीडियो। एंड आज हमारे साथ है अंबर आनंद सर। सर की खुद की डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एजेंसी है, वो डिजिटल मार्केटिंग सर्विस प्रोवाइड करवाते हैं स्मॉल एंड बिजनेसेस को। एंड लेट्स सी, एक बार सर से ही पूछते हैं कि उन्हें हमारे साथ जुड़ के कैसा लग रहा है और वो क्या करते हैं। तो थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर गेटिंग द टाइम फॉर द वीडियो।
Yeah, even I would appreciate what you are doing actually, and it's like wonderful connecting with you actually. What you are doing is appreciable.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। सर प्लीज एक बार ऑडियंस को थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ इंट्रो दीजिए अपने बारे में कि आप क्या हैं, आप क्या करते हैं।
Yeah, so basically I'm an entrepreneur, and I am the owner of a digital marketing company by the name of Savvy Work, and I provide digital marketing services and technology and marketing solutions to the businesses, small businesses as well.
ओके ग्रेट। और कितना टाइम से कर रहे हैं सर आप ये?
Yeah, so I started my journey way back in 2019. So it has been 5 years right now. And it was a pleasure basically to start this journey.
ओके ओके ग्रेट। 5 इयर्स में सर काफी कुछ चीजें रही होंगी लाइफ में, काफी कुछ चीजें आपने सीखी होंगी, काफी अप्स एंड डाउन्स भी रहे होंगे बिजनेसेस में।
राइट।
ओके ग्रेट। सर 5 साल तो हो गए बिजनेस चलाते हुए, बट स्टार्टिंग कैसे हुई थी? लेट्स कम टू दैट पॉइंट कि इस सब जर्नी की स्टार्टिंग कहाँ से हुई थी?
Yes, so basically I am a computer science engineer as well, and when I was pursuing my BTech, right, in computer science, in the fourth year, I got to know about a term named as entrepreneurship, right?
Okay.
And that time it was a very new thing for me. I was quite stunned by what it actually meant, because it is different from business, right? So that time I was having skills of website development actually, because I was very much interested into website development. But later on I got to know that there is a domain called as entrepreneurship, in which you can put your ideas into action, and you can build revenues as well as solutions basically that can work for the people. So I was quite interested about exploring it more, and then my started began in the last semester of my college. It was a day where we were not having anything to do in the college, and I was in the class, and what we were doing is like everyone was not working on anything. So I just put my phone in my hand, and I was like scrolling down, and I just see that okay, this is something new. Like, let's just Google it out actually, what this is actually. And then I got to know, this is a domain. So then I just came back to my home, and I started exploring bit about it more. And I I think more than 2 to 3 hours, I was completely into this thing only. I started watching YouTube videos and started knowing bit about it. So that was like quite a fascination for me, like that, okay, this is another domain that I'm not really knowing about. And that is how I started my journey.
ओके। आपके किसी फ्रेंड ने भी आपके साथ इस जर्नी को ज्वाइन किया, या आप अकेले थे पूरे कॉलेज में, या यू कैन से पूरे बैच में?
Yeah, so previously when I started my journey, it was from one of the startup idea that I was working on, and that was experiencing. Basically, that was a startup that was into skill development, right? That is providing the skills and connecting all those people who would like to learn skills, and those with and with those that are actually willing to provide those skills to these people, right? So that was my basic idea, and I pitched this idea to some of my friends as well, right? So in the start, there were few of my friends who were there. One was my college friend that actually connected, and that was the person who was actually provided me the design of the logo of I experiencing. and there was a friend who was there for like some time. Like there 2 to 3 friends were there, and they were like quite into this thing. That is, yeah, he is like doing something that is different from like what others are doing. So let's join him. So there were like quite a few friends who were there. Right, but later on, what happened? Because it's like in the last semester of engineering, what usually happens is people usually go for these competitive exams. So what I got to know about like can say a month after a month, that some of them were like not very much interested into the idea. So what I did was I like as a one man army, I started working on my idea myself.
Okay.
And there were yeah, my school friend was there. I mean, she was someone who has provided me the logo and the conceptualization as well that I was having in my mind. So she actually put that idea on the piece of paper, and this is how our logo came for that startup. That is the I experience.
ओके ओके ग्रेट. बट कॉलेज में रहते हुए इन सब चीजों पे काम करने के लिए टाइम कैसे मिलता था?
Yes. So I used it was the last year of my college, and so usually all the students, right, who are pursuing engineering, they look for doing these preparation for competitive exams, right? And even I was into working on like the last years like syllabus and all those things, right? Because we have to score really good in those exams, right? The engineering ones. But I was like quite interested in like knowing these things. That is like, if what if I would like to go for a very different field? So I was exploring bit about it during the night timelines basically. So in the day timeline, I used to pursue my studies and everything in process. But in the night timeline, I used to like sit and I used to like watch all those videos that are based around like entrepreneurship. And that time, it was in the year 2016 actually. And startup was something that was very new in India. It was not there actually. People were knowing about, yeah, that is businesses or starting a business, but not this term that is startup or entrepreneurship. So I got to see some of the videos that were created by like the people that are in different countries actually. So there, from there, I got to know that, yeah, this is a domain. And I followed some of these people, Steve Jobs. Then you have this Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg, right? So that time there was a few of the movies that actually came. One was Jobs, right, and another was The Social Network, right? And then I also watched couple of movies. One was around how McDonald's was started as well.
Yes.
So so following all of these type of movies, and also watching like lot of videos, even the realistic videos. That is not just about like the how you show things in the movies, but they were actually telling about what it actually takes to be an entrepreneur and how to work and execute their idea. So then I started my journey. I took all the things in my hand, and that was a very challenging year for me as well. Why? Because it is a time where you have to decide what you have to do further after studies, because this was the last year, right? But somehow I was very much interested into it, and I can see that, yeah, I can do something. And if this does not work, then I have the second plan, that is doing a job, obviously.
ओके ओके ग्रेट. तो फिर फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट की बात करते हैं आफ्टर लर्निंग और सीकिंग द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी. सो व्हाट वाज योर फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट टू स्टार्ट एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप?
Yes. So the first thing that I started was working on my startup idea, that was I experiencing, and that is basically a startup which was providing a solution where people can actually learn skills from those who are having actually the experience as well as expertise on those skills, right? So I started an online platform basically. So I started building my website first, and then I connected both of these sides. That is, one who would like to skill up and one who would like to provide those skills. Uh, so this is how I started it. But in the startup, basically you have to do a lot of research. So there are stages in startup. So first stage was a bit about the idea validation, that what I am thinking about connecting the people. is gonna work and is actually a demand in the market or not. So what I did was I started doing surveys, and how I did it. Basically, I used to put lot of questions on my social media, and even all those people that I usually meet online, I used to simply ask them that, yeah, if you are provided with an opportunity to enhance your skill, so would you be very interested in it? So I got a feedback from them that, yeah, if there is such source, so we'll be very interested in exploring it actually, if it is working for us. But then I also did a research and I read about the India Skill Report. So the India Skill Report is a report that is published combinedly by UNDP, then VBox, Aspiring Minds. So these are the organizations that they conduct this report, India Skill Report, every year actually. So while going through the report, I come across a very surprising fact, and when I was reading about it, I was not able to believe it actually. And what this fact was, that every year around around 55% of BTech remain unemployed. So that was a very big number. 55% is not less. But then I also got to know about a very surprising thing. More than this is that the 60% of MBAs remain unemployed every year.
That's the harsh
And
reality.
yes, and this was ISR, that is India Skill Report of one of the year. But on the next year, I was thinking that, yeah, this numbers might have improved, right? But what I got to know is that the next year it was completely same and more, you can say, affecting in the numbers. I'm not right now taking those numbers of other graduates and all, but yeah, that I believe that these numbers might be very poor as well. But yeah, this is something that is very alarming. Okay. Then I further read about that report. Even they have also included the reason behind it, like what could be the possible reason. So on asking the companies basically that what exactly is the reason why the all the people who are graduating, who are getting their postgraduates and all the higher degrees and certifications, they remain unemployed, and why you are not able to employ them. So they were simply mentioning this thing, that is, we wanted to employ them, but there is a problem that after the students are pursuing their education, they are unfit for the job roles. Why? Because they are not having the desired skills to do the job. So they were unfit for doing the jobs. And that was a skill gap that was in our country. And due to this skill gap, many of the people were not able to secure the jobs, and people and the companies are not able to actually hire them for the roles that they would like to hire them. So then I started working towards this vision, and further, I also went for pitching my idea in front of the audience. So my idea also got selected in the top 100 ideas in the city. So there is an event called Janhit Jagran by Dainik Jagran, and they used to conduct it every year. So for the social entrepreneurship, somehow my idea was also selected under that category. And I remember that it was the first time that I have to pitch my idea in front of the audience, and I was the first person who has to actually pitch the idea. So that day I got to learn about the skills of how you can pitch your idea in front of the people. But the judges, they were like also very much positive about this thing, that they mentioned that what you are working on is actually a very bigger problem here in India. And it's very surprising that till date, like till this year as well, this is not getting fixed actually. We have all the resources in our country, everything, education policy are being changed. There are a lot of reforms. Government is also conducting these type of schemes, that is the PMKVY and all this kind of Skill India mission and everything. But still, there is a reason. And what I believe is the basic problem here is we are all studying the things, we are getting knowledge and education, but what about the practical knowledge and the skills that are required to actually do things? So that is one thing that is missing. So then I started working towards these things at that in those years as well, and I successfully launched my platform. And some of the people I also connected, they were like quite you can say surprised that okay, this type of platform can still exist, right? Because this was something very new to them.
Okay.
But yeah, it was solving problem for the people, and this is how my journey came into action. And I started my first venture, that is of skilling people by the name of I Experience.
Okay, great. That's a great experience and great knowledge. So, is this platform still live or?
So, if you would like to visit this website, there is a website, right? And right now, I have actually executed this idea for a couple of years, but right now I am coming with something else as well at a bigger scale.
Okay.
So, in the year 2019, I sensed that it could be a bigger thing in the future as well. I mean, in the terms of solving this problem, because this is fine. I mean, we used to connect people using online methods, but right now I am actually working towards making a second stage of this one, and it will be a bigger one. Plus, it will be solving things in a large scale actually. So this was it. Yeah. Apart from that one, this idea that I was working on is like accessible right now. If anyone would like to visit it, so they can simply type www.iexperiencing.com. They can also visit my LinkedIn profile, and it's like mentioned there as well. They can read about it as well, and they can visit this website. But yeah, soon. I mean, it's like in the process stage right now. We are working towards it, and we'll be launching it as a bigger scale in the coming years.
Okay, great. So, peoples, you can find the website link in the description box below. Please visit and share your feedback. Okay, let's come to the current situation, sir. Your current company. Let's talk about this. How this idea came into play and how you started this.
Yeah. So the current company that I am working on is Savvy Work, right? And that is a digital marketing company. Savvy Work was started in 2019 by me in the month of October, actually. So I was working on I Experiencing. That was the startup, and during the timeline of the mid 2019, I sensed that I am somehow getting away from my domain, that is of IT, right? So that then, and I also parallelly because I Experiencing is not funded by any of the sources. It was completely a bootstrap thing. So I used to also work in a parallel on freelancing projects at that time, and I was having some website development skills at that time. So I used to take some website projects of the kind. Uh, in the midway of 2019, I sensed that yeah, I should be taking this to another level. That is developing websites and all. So I started with another business, and that was a digital marketing company. At that time, I was particularly taking the website development projects only, and I was not very much into digital marketing or the other domains as well that I used to provide services right now. So I took some of the services that I can provide, that is a website, its maintenance, support, and if you have like any idea, then how we can build a platform for it. That is the thing that I started. And the Savvy Work, that is the name. Many people usually ask me like how you come up with such a name, and it's like quite interesting as well. So it also has a full form actually. So one day I was sitting and I was thinking that what could be a name that I can put to my business. Then I sensed that yeah, somehow it should be what I am doing right now for the businesses. So I was actually saving their timeline, their efforts, as well as the cost as well. And my services was very like working very fine for them. It was having quality as well. Plus, we were very fast in providing those services. So I combined all of these all together and came with this word called savvy work. Usually, we hear about this term called as savvy, right? Tech savvy, you might have heard. So it basically means you are like skilled in it or smart in something like that, right? So then I combined all these words, and I took this idea, that is, I am saving your work. So from that, saving your work, I took some of the word, that is S, from save, right? Then work, then it's yours. So I combined all of them together, and the name form, that was Savvy Work.
Okay.
So we are saving your work by providing you efficient services these days.
Okay, that's a really nice or interesting story. Okay, great. So let's come to the point ki you have experience of running businesses previously. So what are the difficulties you face in this business when you're starting this?
Yes. So when I was starting up, as an youngster, basically, we are not very much sure about how the things will work. Actually, that is the main issue whenever anyone is starting up with a thing, and it's not just with the youngster as well. Anyone who is like starting their business, figuring out what can work for them is very difficult part, right? So during those years when I was starting this business as well, I was into a lot of thoughts actually, that if it will work or not work as well. And the challenges I faced during the initial timeline was having that support from the family as well as you can say you have to keep yourself motivated, because you say the initial years, the 3 to 4 not the years, the 3 to 4 months, I would say, of your business. It's like fine. It's like you are very passionate about building something and you start doing the work. But the real challenge actually came when it's 6 months right now. You have covered 6 months, and the question is how much revenue you are making. Because in the parallel at that timeline, I was having my classmates, my friends, they were like started doing their jobs and all. But here I was working on something that was only I was there to work on something, right? So it was completely a solo thing that I was doing right now. So it was, I was even having these thoughts as well, that if this will not work, then what I will do as well. Yeah. So, but basically, I was having a second plan, and that second plan is going for freelancing, like working on the website projects. So I was having that thing. So this was the initial thing that I was having in my mind, right? But if you talk about the exact challenges, so this was one thing that is keeping yourself motivated. Because I remember when I started building my business, the actual problem that I faced was going to launch it in a way that it is working as a business, right? And for that, I have to establish everything in place. Establishing means that you should have a place where you can meet your clients, and figuring out actually that where you will be conducting the things. Now, this that is the business model that I was having. It can be also executed from anywhere, because if you are someone who is into this type of services, that is providing online services, so you just require a laptop and you're good to go, an internet connection, and you're good to go. But the exact problem here was to have a business place for you. And as a youngster, I was having no clue about like how to go with these things, who to talk to, and how to make things happen as well. What business documentation I might be requiring to conduct it in a way that it is legal as well. So these were like couple of challenges for me. Then, but what I did was that I used to figure out the things by knowing more about things, like reading and trying to connect with the people who are actually doing businesses and asking them as well on the social media and in my network as well. So this is how I was able to work on those things. So the main thing that I was facing here was figuring out like how to start and make things work for me and for building the revenues. Basically, this was the initial key challenges for me.
Okay. So after 6 month period, how much revenue you are able to generate per month?
Yes. So yeah. So after, like in the initial year, if you're asking about the initial year, right?
Yes.
So in the initial year, after like the 6 months, I figured out like basically I set on a day, and I was figuring out like what exactly is happening here, like how much I'm making, and is it like not just like making, and what are the expenses and all, right? So basically it's like writing all the balance sheet in place, right? That how much you are making and what is the expenditure and what's the profit, right? So while calculating the things, I got to first know this thing that it is very important to actually uh, create this record in place. That is the balance sheet, right? That you should be knowing that what is exactly is happening in the business. It is not just about how you are making, but how much you are also doing in the form of expenses, right? What are the expenses? So I balance them. So initially, I got to know that I was able to make around 60K per month during
Okay.
those during this first 6 months. I was able to figure out this thing that yeah, this is the average monthly income that I am able to build.
Okay.
Sometime it was low in couple of months, but yeah, sometime it was like high as well. So on an average, it was like 60K.
Okay. और this is the hire from your friends जो job में थे, and this is the same. Are they making per month or is the more?
Yeah, so this is more actually. So I remember talking with one of my friend. I simply asked that, yeah, you might be earning very good because this is something I was started, and you are in a job. So that person was actually in like very reputed IT company, but he was mentioning that on the like on second statement he just mentioned me that when I can join you actually. So I asked like what happened, like what how much you make actually. So he is like I usually make like around 22 to 25K per month, and half of this gone in rent as well, and I am just left with like 5 to 6K in my hand, right? So I said that, oh yeah, it can be a thing that because right now you have started the thing, right? But he was like, no, I have also connected with my seniors and I asked them, and they are like saying the same thing. So still you are earning more than my seniors right now. So then I got to see that, yeah, this is something that I actually enjoy as well. And that is also working for me to build the revenue.
Okay, great, nice. So let's come to share some stories, funny stories in your business, like you have gained some kind of experience with the clients, a motivational story, a funny story, or you can say in term of share the real difficulty to handle a client.
Yes. So I was hardly, I think it was like 23 to 24 years old at that timeline, right? And during those timelines, it's like you are quite new to business world, right? And the clients that used to come in my office was like of you can twice or thrice my age as well sometimes. So it's like they are in like 30s or 40s, and I'm in 20s actually, right? So here is the point that is. Uh, the difficulty was how you are able to convince them basically that, and as well as you can put your ideas in front of that it will work, right? Because for you because for them you are someone who is very young, right? And they are not very much into this thing, that you are a person that they can really trust, right? So this was it. So I remember there was one of client, and I am referring him as a client. But what exactly happened is, so there was one of the this the place that where I conduct business is a business complex actually, and there was one person in the complex, right? And the business complex where I'm conducting my business. So he was walking near my business location, and near to my location, he saw my board actually outside. I just added a very small board outside of my place, and he used to like read it. So I was having a door in my office from where I can actually see that who is standing in front of my office, right? So I can see him, but he was not able to see me. So that was the condition, right? Now he came inside my office, right? It was a very small office, like very small place actually. So he came to my office, and he was asking that, uh, are you also into repairing computer parts and everything in place as well? So at that time, I was like working on something. I was working on one of the websites. So then it was like from behind there was something that I came with, that is, uh, am I a repair person here, or I am actually working on a website, right? So that was a thing that was in my mind. That is like why like he is like referring to me as as a person who will repair things, right? But because I am a CS engineer, that is computer science engineer, I even took that gig as well. Because during those years, it was actually main thing is how you are able to build revenue, right? And I sense that, yeah, because I know how to do this thing as well. So I put myself into that place that I simply had a conversation with him, and I asked him like what exactly is the issue. So he told me that there was some problem in his PC, and so I said that, yeah, simply that I can check, because he was like residing very near to my location only, hardly like couple of meters actually. So I just went to his office, and yeah, I fixed that as well. So that was a thing. And that day in the night, I was just thinking that what I did today, like what the journey that I started is particularly into working on these type of services, that is website development and all these things. But it is more like the person is treating me as a repair guy, right? So that was quite a thing, and I was laughing as well. I told this thing to one of my friend as well. So my friend was like, "Why don't you also start a repair shop just parallel to your business?" So I just told him that is like, you see, I am not very sure that how my business will go, but yeah, if this is in demand as well, maybe I have to go in those lines as well. So this was one thing. Uh, I also remember there are like, because this is like a public place. I mean, usually this is business complex, so there are like lot of people who are moving here and there as well. So one of this person actually came to my place as well. And that time it was in the whole complex. There were like very, we can say, there was very less places where you can get photocopy and all these things done, right? So that one person also came to my place and simply asked that, okay, brother, can we have a photocopy from here as well? So that time as well, I was quite thinking that what I have started here, and I was like quite confused as well, that is it the right decision or not? Because the type of people who are coming here is like quite not knowing that what I'm actually doing, right? So, but yeah, I sense this thing that it is the normal human behavior actually at that time, right? Because they were not actually knowing about what I am doing. And then I sense this thing that is, I should be changing few things about my business. Uh, the way how you are actually showcasing your business to the customers. I mean, the overall outlook of the business, the place as well. And then I started making changes actually. So from adding a big size board to mentioning every of the services in front of it, and later on scaling my office space in the coming year. So these were the things that I did, and it worked for me. But yeah, that time it was like people were not having an idea that what I was doing, and sometimes even I used to get confused as well. That is, if I am heading towards the right direction or not. But yeah, these things turned up and well for me, and I worked.
ग्रेट. सो अभी भी कुछ ऐसी स्टोरीज होती हैं, फनी इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं, या अब ये सब स्टॉप?
Yeah, so now there are different set of funny stories that are happening, right? And many of the time we see a meme that is going on Instagram Reels, or you can say social media. This is about the designer, the developer. They are discussing about a thing, and there is a client who is asking you for multiple revisions, right? And the client himself is not very sure that what they want actually. So this is exactly true, I would say. If many people are questioning that if it is true or not, so I would mention that, yeah, this is exactly true. Because this thing usually happens with the client. You cannot build these type of applications or website such as Ola, Uber in like just 1 lakh or like less than that actually. And if you are building it, so somehow this is just you can say a toy car in front of the real car, right? So these type of I have come across these type of clients who usually think that, yeah, well, like doing these things is set off like you just pressing the buttons and getting things built as well. But no, this is not the thing. Working on any of these applications, it requires significant amount of timelines actually. So that meme is working here, that even the clients are not knowing that what they are heading towards. It's just basically that I want this thing and please provide me this thing in return. Then they asking you that we also wanted this thing, but it is not there in what you had built actually. And then they having unrealistic expectations about the commission. So I come across some of these type of clients as well. And right now, most probably the problem here is with how these clients are actually thinking about their business model, right? Running a business is not a rocket science actually. It, you are like doing everything and it will work for you. You require patience actually. You require to learn things that you are actually not working on your flaws as well. There are like lot of areas, right? But businesses these days, even the startups and the new businesses, basically, what they usually think is that it is something that is a rocket science. You work in a certain way, you copy others, and it will work for you. But this is not a thing actually. Even all the developers know this thing. That is, whenever we are building a certain platform, right? Certain platform, an application, a website. Uh, so there is a business model behind that, right? A business model that people can actually execute, and then there is a target audience for your idea as well. So usually I come across with lot of clients who are not actually knowing that what they are working on. It's simple as that, right? So I have written about one of my LinkedIn posts, where one of my I have also added this post where I mentioned that one of my developer was calling one of the app ideas khichadi actually. Right, khichdi is more like, for my English guy, I will say it's like crazy mix basically. But yeah, every Indian is knowing what khichdi. So what exactly was this client was having an idea? So that is adding all of these startup ideas. That is Oyo. You have Blinkit right now. That was Droppers earlier. Urban Company, that is for the manpower supply. Then Zomato as well, all together in one application. Actually, quite complex thing. And when I just asked my developer to look into like what is the requirement, so he simply said that, sir, ये खिचड़ी है, ये नहीं बनेगा. Was the exact word he was having. So this is like a kitchen. This is a dish that we cannot prepare actually. And I was also thinking about that. How this person actually had this type of idea in their mind that they can combine everything in one platform, right? But yeah, people are like in the you can say in the terms of making business, they are into doing each and everything, right? So basically, the client, they came with this idea that is, I want all of this thing in one application, and that's quite funny for me as well when my developer sends it that saying that, so this is khichdi actually. So I was also finding it very funny at that timeline that yeah, he was not wrong actually, but still I did that project. Why? Because this was something that was challenging, and the next part that was very surprising was that he also wanted it to be a multi-vendor application. A multi-vendor application is something like you have sellers in Amazon and Flipkart. So anyone can come to his platform on an application and they can provide their services. So yeah, this was a khichdi only, right? It's like completely a thing. It was a crazy mix basically. So I added that post recently on my LinkedIn as well, and like people were also finding it funny. But yeah, this is one of the funny thing that I come across, and from my developer actually sensing this word. But yeah, we were working on this project and we made it successful as well. I had to work on this overnight, like burning midnight oil and all these things I have to do in the. I used to like sit till like morning 2 a.m. as well and work on this idea of how I can make this thing happen, this thing executed in a real way, exactly in the reality as well. Now, what was the challenging part here? So challenging is that, see, these applications, that is for the Blinkit, for the Oyo, you have different screens coming, right? From Blinkit, you can have groceries ordered at your home, and from Oyo, you can book hotel, right? they have different business model. How they work is also very different. But this particular type of application, we have to provide conditional screens actually. So that was the most challenging part. That is, if a customer is actually in a, you can say, expectation to book a hotel, right? So they should be getting a different screen. So the challenging part about building this Khichdi application was having different screens basically. So whenever you are ordering any of the products from Blinkit or Grofers, right? So you have different screens coming up in your application. But whenever you are actually booking a hotel from the application like Oyo, so there are different screens coming as well. So the challenging part here was how you can have all these things together in one application. And just because there is a certain human behavior where you would not be very much interested into making all the things all together in one place. This was getting very complex actually. So I was working on this idea. It says that like what projects you can put here. So I would also appreciate one of my developer who was also working on this project, and he made this possible actually. So he was pursuing his engineering actually at that timeline, and for him it was a project. It was just a project for him that he was very new to all these things. But yeah, we together we were working on this thing, and somehow we were able to figure out, and in 3 months we were able to build this application. And not only one application, but we also built three other applications as well. So we built the customer application, the admin application as well, then a delivery application, and then we also added a vendor application as well. So it's like in 3 months we actually built four applications so that their model can work. And even I remember when we actually completed this project and we published this application in the market, I also like danced a little bit in my room because of I have built something that I felt that yeah, this is very hard to accomplish actually. Yeah, I usually say that yeah, not it is not a thing that things cannot be done or things are impossible. It's just how you figure out things that can work for your solutions or like what the issues you are facing. So for me, it was a challenging thing that I took, and somehow I was successful at that.
ओके ओके ग्रेट. सो सर अभी टीम साइज क्या है बाय द वे आपका?
Yes. So right now, we are having a team. We are executing in a way that is pan India, and we have so that's like a writer that is residing in Odisha, a developer who is in Jaipur, an app developer who is in Lucknow, right? So this is how our model works. And if we talk about the team size that we are having right now we are having 45 people in our team, in which there are 8 people who are the core members.
ओके ओके ग्रेट. सो अभी फ्यूचर्स प्लान्स क्या है साइवी बुक के?
Yes. So for the future, I would be very interested in scaling this. And right now, there are new technologies coming in the market as well. So I started my journey as a web developer, basically working on website projects. But I also get into other domains, that is of digital marketing, content creation, graphic design, and everything in place. Right now, AI is around, and it is exactly changing the digital marketing space. So digital marketing was working for businesses a couple of years ago, but right now AI marketing is something that is a very new thing in the market. Plus, it is changing the entire shape of how people see marketing, right? So AI is around, and in the future, we are planning to work with these type of technologies and provide solutions to the businesses.
So working with, are you planning to make some kind of a AI software or website, or is there something else?
Yes. So basically, using AI to build solutions for the customers. It can be AI chatbot for marketing, in integrating AI chatbot in their application website as well. But we are also working towards building some solutions for the businesses where they have their own AI models in that can work for their business. Basically, OpenAI, if you know, so OpenAI has different models. So integrating the OpenAI models with their business. So this is like what we are working on right now these days. But not only these, using AI to make the process of marketing faster. So like there is Canva, particularly in for the faster, you can say, development of graphics as compared to Photoshop and Corel Draw. So now is the AI that is there to provide you you can say a cost effective as well as fast paced marketing. So this is how you actually implement AI under your marketing that can work for your business. So this is the thing that we are working on.
Okay, okay, great. So, Abhi, if I talked about your day life, how's the day life of a digital marketing company owner? So, where is your day go?
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to mention this thing that is whatever I took till now in my journey, I was always into this thing that if I am really interested into this, I'm really interested about this thing, or I'm really interested in doing this thing or not. Right? That is the first question I wanted to ask me. So because you cannot do things for a very long time if you are not interested in it. Even if you are starting a business as well, so after like 6 months it will be you thinking that I what I'm doing is actually my interest area or not. That is a question when you will come across that question. So I believe that whenever you are doing certain things, you should find an interest area in it. So usually, if I talk about my day-to-day schedule, so how it starts is like in the morning, I start my day by working on some of the things in my day-to-day life. That is working on the plans that I would what I will be doing today. And by 9, 8, it's like checking my emails, but basically knowing like what is exactly going on the social media, because it is the thing that is what everyone, most of the people usually check on their phone in the morning. So even I do it, but for me, it is more like checking that what exactly is happening in the terms of marketing. Like, so if I go to LinkedIn and I see someone adding a post, so I see that what exactly is a thing, why they have added this color, why their post look like this, and how the audience is actually engaging with the content. This is how I look up to these things, right? So my day usually starts with these things, actually figuring out like what will be the action plan, what I will be doing today. And in the morning, I have different set of energy. Why? Because usually when I am working on these things, I have a cup of tea in my hand. So I am usually thinking about the ideas. And there is a special thing about having a cup of tea in the morning and thinking about the ideas actually. So at that timeline, I think it is like lot of ideas flowing in my mind that yeah, this can be also done, that can also work for you. This can be a solution to the thing. And I pick one thing at a time and start working on those things. Then it's the office hours. I usually go there and I work on the projects with my team, basically coordinate them as well about the things that they have to do. And I also solve some of the problems that they are facing somehow. They usually question me about that, yeah, this how this can be done, or like what can be a way. And as an owner, I usually think that how I can benefit them through my solutions, basically. So I usually have this thought process where I try to put myself in the shoes of my teammate and then think. And the same thing I do for my customers as well. Even if I am providing any of the solution for my clients, their audience as well, the first thing I do is like putting myself in the shoes of the people. So if you are also putting yourself in the shoes of the other people, the target audience, or maybe the client, you can think about those kind of perspectives as well as ideas, or maybe the areas that can make things happen. That is what people are not able to sense, I think. So after doing such sort of things like working on the projects and all, I'm like quite interested in doing this thing. But uh, the reason that I am able to like sit for like long hours and work on those ideas is just because I'm interested in doing these things.
Hmm.
Uh, AI was around, OpenAI was around, I think in the December last year. It was in the news that yeah, OpenAI is already around, and they just have launched ChatGPT, right? So the next thing I did after knowing about it is I picked that platform. I started like knowing more about it, how I can use in my work process actually,
Hmm.
and build something out of it. So that came with this idea that is, if you are interested in any of the things, so I believe you can do it for long, right? So after this thing, then it's usually the office closing hours, and then I go for like walk, and also I usually go for like refreshment time and all the time for this. That is called the me time, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes whenever there are some of the days where I have to work quite for long hours as well, depending on what I am working on, and if there is a requirement from the end of the client as well.
Hmm.
So that depends, but I am able to put long hours in work because of the same reason, that is the interest rate.
Hmm.
uh, so interest area is something that actually makes me work for like more than 12 hours sometimes as well.
Okay, okay, great. So is this true? You are working on Saturday, Sunday as well, or you are taking leave for those days? Weekend is
Yes.
for the
So
enjoyment.
for me, working is more like a game, actually.
Okay.
The way people play games, right? It's more like me. It's like it's the same thing for me as well.
Okay.
So whenever you are playing a game, right? So you are enjoying that process actually, right?
Okay.
That what is exactly happening, what is coming the screen. Uh, the same thing is for me as well. So on the Sunday, Saturdays, I don't think that I should be taking vacation or like break time actually. Uh, I have this thought in my mind that is, have I did anything productive on this day or not? That is a thought that I usually come across when it's Saturday or Sunday. Then I pick up things and then I start working on those things. But
Okay.
yeah, I divide my timeline in you can say three parts. That is 8-8-8 ratio basically. So on the Sunday, it's basically I am following the 8-8-8 rule. So basically, that is 8 hours of work and then 8 hours of me taking the rest
Hmm.
and 8 hours of me doing the certain other activities, whatsoever is like required, food, nourishing, and all these things. So on Sundays, Saturdays, it is mostly me finding myself equipped in doing things that I actually like,
Okay.
and working in those areas is more like a vacation for me.
Okay.
So I believe that whatever anyone is doing, right? They at after like certain point, they should find an area where they are very interested in it, so that they don't have to wait for weekends to enjoy their life.
Okay. Okay. Great. So in the previous answer, you disclose that you always think about from the second person perspective, either it's your teammates or your clients. So is there some kind of incident, or you can say a criticism that you get from your client?
Yeah, many times. See, it is frankly, I would mention this thing that if you are working in the industry, right? So you should be open to criticism actually.
Okay.
And by that, I mean, see, there is a different thought process among different people. How
Yes.
people usually take things, they have different thought process. So if I like some product, right, it could be another person not liking it much. So they have
Obviously.
different thought process, right? And then clients also come with some expectations, right? That they have certain expectations, level of expectations. So yeah, they will criticize, but I usually take all those kind of criticism in a positive way actually, because this is how you get experience, right? That is how you turn up all those criticisms into the positive aspects,
Hmm.
right? That can work for your business, that can work for your clients. That is a challenging thing. Yeah, but there are certain customers or the clients I would like to mention that they usually criticize for no reason as well. That is, they have like their own certain personal agendas actually. So they criticize in those ways, right? So I'm like fine because now I am having an experience. So what I do is I simply listen to them because considering everything is the thing that I have to take care. So I consider things, and later on I simply mention to them that if this is not working for them, then it's fine, not a problem, because at the end of the day, it is the customer satisfaction that matters a lot in the business, right? If you are not having satisfied customers, you will not retain customers, and they will not be coming again to you to take the service. But yeah, then these customers, they usually get to know that they were wrong actually, criticizing a person or maybe about the services, and they again fall back to me only. They come for me that yeah, we were wrong and you were right. Please help us now. Then I simply work with them. So this is how you work with the businesses. Customers, many businesses think that yeah, the customers are not like very good for them. They are the people who are not considering the worth of the business, the services and all. But what I believe is, if you are sensing what your customer is requiring, right? And if you are able to sense that what are the pain points that you can fix, then I think more than 70% of the clients or the customers you come across, they will not be going anywhere. They will be taking services from your end. And the rest 30, it's like, fine. I mean, you should not go for everything for 100%, obviously.
Yes, obviously. Okay. So let's come to the last section of the case study or the podcast is your family happy with your decision when you decided to go for your own startup instead of going for a job?
Yeah, so initially, they were like very much into, you can say, they were fearful about what I am doing right now in the that uh, situation of the life and that age particularly. So they were like quite fearful about my decisions actually, that what I was doing, right? Uh, these were initial years where I can see that my father was very worried as well. Usually because as a parent, you cannot see that your child working very hard on something and it's getting disappointed later. And time is the key here. Obviously, if you are working on certain thing, it will require time. That is fine. But if you are working on something, it is taking a lot of your time and it is not working for anyone. It could land you as well as other people in trouble as well. Right? So these were like some of the thought process. And being a first generation entrepreneur in a family, I usually have this background that is most of the people that are in my family are into doing jobs, right? So there was a fearful situation, but yeah, my father, he had this thing that is, if you require something or if you would want to do anything in your life, so you should work on that thing, and he was quite supportive about this thing. But at after like certain point, even I remember there was one day uh, when he was reading newspaper, right? And he was not mentioning things directly to me, but what he simply mentioned that there was some opening in the news about the opening in the newspaper, right? And he was reading about it. He just told me that, okay, son, so see, there is this opening that is there in the newspaper, and would you like to go for it? And you should go for it actually if you would like, but there is no compulsion actually. He has mentioned this thing to me. So indirectly he was mentioning this thing that is, I'm little bit fearful about and little bit worried about you, that what you are doing right now. And I think you should also go for having a job in place, right? That is the thing, right? So indirectly, it was the way he mentioned this thing, but that was fine. I mean, if I keep myself in the shoes of my father, I can sense, yeah, that if my child is into something that I am not very sure about, and every day he's like putting a lot of efforts, right? So at that age, no father would like their son or the daughter, uh, you can say, expectations broken up after like working so hard, right? So I was quite into this thing. That is, yeah, I that time I took this thing as in a positive way, actually, because I sensed that, yeah, my father is not wrong here, but is worried about me. That was the thing. So these were the initial years. Uh, Later on, I was also into this thing, that is very common questions among the business people. That is, when will the things work for me? When I will be able to achieve the goal? When I will be able to make significant income? That is the question that I was having in the initial years. But then I also thought that, yeah, if you are doing business, if you are doing your own things, it will require time. It will
Obviously.
require patience as well,
Yes.
and not everything will work the way you think, actually,
Hmm.
right? So it should be you learning from your failures
Hmm.
and trying to put patience in place whenever it is required. So that actually led me to successfully conduct this business over the years.
Okay.
I believe that if I was not able to work on this thing, so it could be me who is taking like a break in the initial year, saying that I started something and I was a failure at this time. But it is the patience as well as that kind of self motivation
Hmm.
that someone can put in themselves that can make things happen, actually.
Hmm.
So these are the factors actually that made me continue my journey. And yeah, after all of these years, I am feeling fine because I have gained significant amount of experience as well.
Hmm.
And some of my friends, or usually they also refer this thing, that is, you have made a good decision, actually, because if you have to start this thing right now,
Hmm.
and you are starting it after like maybe 2 or 3 years after the job, so it could be you not starting this thing at all, because you will face these type of things, that is the time issues, basically, that age issue, as well as the responsibilities that you are getting in the life ahead. So I feel that it was a good decision that I took at that time, like, and
Hmm.
I'm quite happy about like what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I consider myself as a learner, and I wanted to be a learner in my life, actually.
Okay, great. So, in the last section of the final section of the video, what advice you want to give the struggler entrepreneur who wants to be an entrepreneur in their life?
Yeah. So the I would only like to mention this thing, that if you have an idea and you think that it will work, and you have done enough study uh, and have a positive vibe that it will work, then don't give up at all, actually.
Hmm.
uh, you can also work on the things later,
Sure.
right? But it should be you picking things up as well.
Hmm.
And somehow, if you feel that this is right now not working for it, then it's not a problem. You can figure out things later as well. But important thing here is, if you are picking things again and again or not. That is what is thing that you have to consider here.
Hmm.
And I also believe this thing, that if you are serious about something, right? So you will be very much interested in picking that thing again and again. And if you are not able to pick it again, then you can just take this thing, that is, you are not very much serious, or very much was into this thing, actually,
Hmm.
right? So I would just mention this thing, that is, don't give up on your ideas, because learning from the failures can actually make you work on those type of ideas which people haven't thought till now, right? So
Yes.
from your failures you learn things,
Hmm.
right? There are a lot of failed entrepreneurs, but that world is mentioning them, that they failed in their business, or maybe the what they were doing, right? But just look at like what they have gained as in the form of experience.
Yes.
right? So all the businesses and entrepreneurs, you don't fail, you learn.
Yes.
That is the thing.
एक एंटरप्रेन्योर हारता नहीं है, या तो वो जीत जाता है या तो वो सीख जाता है.
Yes, and it is the most important thing is to be satisfied what you do, right? Because it many people are behind this thing that I would like to make an earning, make a living, and make a lifestyle. I like to earn very big in life, this and that, have vacations and all those luxurious life and all. But at the end of the day, if you are not satisfied and happy, then there is no point of doing any other thing in the world.
Yes.
So when I usually sleep at night, it is a peaceful night I sleep. I don't have to think that what is going on, right? And that I feel is the most valuable thing as well. Because if you
Yes.
are having a very peaceful sleep, then it is a very good life that you are leading.
Yes.
So this was all about it that I wanted to share with the businesses and entrepreneurs, that please don't give up. At least pick up your ideas, because over time it can become something, or over time you might can gain a significant amount of experience and can put that into use somewhere to make income.
Yes.
So failed entrepreneurs can also do jobs as well. Not a problem. It can be a second decision.
Yes. Great. So thank you so much for giving your time, sir. And I hope people are loving this video. People, please comment down if you have any question related to the anything you have learned from this, and we will try to answer all your questions. Anybody who want any services related to the digital media service, I'll put the website link in the description box below. Please visit the website. Find the LinkedIn ID link of sir in the description box below as well. You can connect on with him on LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving your time. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, and thank you so much for everything.
It was a lovely session with you as well, and thanks for providing me this opportunity to speak up. And if in the audience, if any would like to connect with me, so simply as has been mentioned, I the link has been mentioned in the this video as well. You can simply go there and just connect with me, and I would be very much happy in answering all of you actually.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.